And just his story and the history that he shared was just awesome. But the most impressive thing, and I adhere to this, I don't know about the rest of you, but I took heed to what he told me. And he said that something's going to happen and food's going to be hard to come by and water. And he said, stock up on your canned goods. So I got a whole cupboard full of canned goods. And I'm hearing to what he said. You know, he was a very wise man.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Pearl Walker. And, I'm so nosy. Look at me trying to talk to y'all and people around the corner at the same time. So I'm just being myself, okay. But about Mother King, I don't remember when I met her, but at some point I just knew who she was, and she was this lady who would be at the programs. And sometimes she would be speaking, or sometimes she would just be attending, but as far as me being up close and personal with her, it was about this time last year, and Stanley, you all had the gathering at the spot over on the studio over on 3rd, and we came and joined her at the table, and she had some food left, and she wanted to carry out, and you were at the table, and she was very particular about getting her food. She was very particular about her food, her leftovers, and how they were being placed in the carry out, and I just remember that she just even something little like that, to having a commanding presence on stage in front of a mic. She was very particular about everything and how she wanted it. And then last spring, she spoke at the Civil Rights Museum. Representative Justin J. Pearson and others were working in this part of the country as it relates to Reverend Barber's Poor People's March in Washington. And if I'm not mistaken, she took that trip to Washington. Did she, Karen? Did she go there?
No, she didn't get to go.
Yeah, so just the fact that as recent as last year, she was still traveling on behalf of these causes that she was passionate about and believed in. And even then, just her voice was still strong and her presence was still commanding. And before I move on to Minister Yahweh, I have to say Stanley and whoever was involved in putting this together tonight, let's give them a hand. Let's give them a hand. I wasn't able to make it to Mother King's funeral, but I did attend the services for Minister Yahweh, and I just felt like more should be done, and so now we have this, and we can still do more. We can still do some other things. This is great, but we can still do some other things. And additionally, maybe this could be an annual event for us where we get together annually and remember them together like we're doing tonight. And Minister Yahweh, well, I never got a call at 4:30 in the morning from Mother King, but I got a lot of calls from Minister Yahweh. And part of my community work, a lot of you all know me as his advocate for Whitehaven. I'm also candidate for City Council District 3, that's the west side of Elvis Presley, going into Hickory Hill, touching on South Memphis, Parkway Village, and Fox Meadows. But my work in recent years, some of it is dealing with environmental justice. And the majority of the people who live in communities that are affected by environmental racism, they look like us. But the majority of the people who are doing the work and trying to get the laws changed and things like that are people outside of our community. But Mother King, along with Minister Yahweh, over time, they stayed current. And that's one of the things that made them so special. They just didn't get stuck with a certain issue or cause, but they continued to stay current and relevant to the times. And so moving forward, I want to ask, if you will, you don't have to all the time, but refer to Minister Yahweh as an environmental justice advocate, because that's definitely where he had the area he had transcended to. And with this lead poisoning, he was ahead of the times, going to the council meetings, talking about that lead poisoning every 2 weeks, after every 2 weeks, after every 2 weeks. And Mother King working with the bus riders, there's an intersectionality between transportation and the environment. Most of the emissions, the majority of the emissions that we're dealing with on the planet are coming from vehicles, especially the large fleet vehicles. Okay, that's a tongue twister. Like the Meta buses. So things are in place. We're going to get some electric vehicles, but both of them kept current with the times. And to repeat myself, I just want you all to remember that, and that's what we should do as well, is to stay on top of what's, you can advocate and work on any cause you want, but stay current, because things are constantly happening in society. Things are constantly evolving. But yes, Minister Yahweh was definitely an environmental justice advocate, and that's how I'm choosing to remember him first and foremost within his entire body of work. Thank you.
Come down this way, okay. My name is Walter Brody. Man, it's like a long documentary, like 3 or 4 hours talking about those two there. They was two of the greatest people was among us. I mean, man, Mother King, her name King just magnify her. I mean, you know, Minister Yahweh is one of the best prophets I've ever been around. And it's a sad thing. I was messed up because Patricia called me and she texted me and told me that he was sick and told me to give him a call. And I don't want to do that again. That, you know, when somebody's sick and you don't call them because you doing your own business, and you should just say, hey man, what's going on? And then the next thing you know, he's dead. You know, and but one thing about Mother King, but with both of them, they push you to greatness. And I love that. You know, some people be offended if somebody push you into greatness. They can correct you. And I remember one time I go down to the city council and I end the city council by praying for all of the city council in the whole city. And Mother King, she'll come at me and she was like, when I didn't feel like doing it, she said, hey, go in there and pray for him. What? And, you know, your flesh get in the way. So I went over there and prayed for her. She got on me. And I thank God for her. Because she can get on me. You know what I'm saying? This generation don't want nobody to get on them. They be offended. Yahweh, if you really want to know the true Yahweh, get her book. Get that book that she spent hours and days and stuff that he said can save this generation. But a lot of people don't want to be saved. A lot of people want their dysfunction and they rise off of it. I was down there when Yahweh was down to the city council, was talking about that water for years. And it was nobody there. It was some people was there, some people weren't. They left. And thought, I said, Yahweh, go and sue these people. That's the only way you would do it. But one thing about Yahweh, he was the realest man. You know, I don't care. You know, you got a lot of fake black people out there, and they do this thing with money. This man left the money on the table. He didn't want no money. He just wanted his people free. That's all he wanted. And he just said, man, I just got to get his word and tell these people, man, what this water is about. And it came to fruition. It was true. They were poisoning us with that fluoride. When I was little, they were talking about fluoride was good. But, you know, it was bad. So the deal is, if you really want to know who Yahweh was, get that book, what she got. Because he sold a lot of seed off in her, off in Patricia. And I just thank God for them. I mean, I was amongst kings and queens and didn't even know it because I took it for granted. But this generation right here, they is on their own dysfunction. I mean, they own their own dysfunction. When anytime you tell somebody it's okay to kill your own people for no reason, you telling me about the cops, but you ain't telling me about what you doing. What is your accountability? Accountability. What's your accountability? What's your responsibility? I don't want to hear about what these white people doing. Tell me what you doing. Tell me that. 2 people got killed in Westwood. One guy got killed because he had a wife and a kid, and they killed because he want to take this guy car. Don't give me your explanation. Don't give me what happened in slavery. Tell me what's going on now. Don't give me no mental, well, I got a mental problem. But when you go in jail, your mind is like, are you going to serve God or you going to serve the devil? Which side you on? Me and Yahweh, you know who Yahweh really wanted he's doing on his last days? He was getting closer to God. That's what he was getting closer to. That's all he was talking about. So the deal is, man, I was telling, I said, my stepsons, and I was hitting them off on their work, and I said, okay, I'm gonna stop messing with you with work. But right now, I'm gonna start hitting you on your vision. What do you want? And I'm gonna hit you on that big time. Stop making excuses. That's what Yahweh always tell me. Don't make no excuses. Don't blame nobody else. I don't want to hear about no blackness until you do something correct. Your move. Life is a chess game unless you want to be checkmate. Right. Which one is you? Right. I'm sick of it. Yeah. Man, we kill each other all the time for no reason. Yeah. No reason at all. And then we blame the white man on it. Yeah. Every time. All right. What's your move? Me and Yahweh talk like this. Okay. That's why he got out of the invaders. He saw something. Yes, Lord. Your move, baby. Your move. It starts with you. It starts with you. Your move. Your move. You are responsible for your own thing. That's why I love Minister Yahweh. I love him. And I hated that I missed him on them last days. Yeah. Your move, black people. God bless you.
Yeah, just remember that His Spirit moves on. And you have expressed yourself very well. Patricia, thank you for all the texts that I get from you. You text me all the time. I've been knowing Minister Yahweh as well as Mother King for 40 years. So I go all the way back. I was in my 20s. Yeah. So, let me touch you. And then that's toward my DJing days. But I remember Mother King wanted me to do something for the youth. And I told her, I said, I got equipment I can set up to where we're going to go. She said, hey, we're going to go in the middle of Orange Mound. I said, how are we going to do this? She said, don't you worry, I'll take care of everything. She actually rented a flatbed truck, 18-wheel flatbed truck for me to put my equipment on. And I DJed for the youth. We had about 150 young people and all in Orange Mountain area. So after we got through, I said, Mother King, will we do this again? She said, there's one thing about you that I always remember. You're very handsome. I said, I know that. And she said, I just love your voice. I love your golden voice. And every time I see her, I say, here I am. She's doing something at the church. I get a text or a call from her. She said, we got work to do. So that young lady inspired me to continue to go on and go on and go on. But 40 years is a long time. And I call both of them. They are Memphis. They made Memphis. They fight to the end. And that's something that we got to do. We got to fight to the end. Keep your faith. Keep your strength. And I guarantee you we're going to make it. We all are one. We're all one. Can we just put one up? Just one. We are one. We are one. And I'm looking out in the audience. I'm like, golly, this is my second family. But you guys have supported me throughout my years. And my career have been tremendous. I've been blessed. So the only thing I'm doing is just throwing that blessings back to you. All right? Amen. Tyrone. Come on up here, Tyrone. Tyrone, I've been knowing this guy for 50 years. Oh, Pat. Okay. All right, hold on.
Thank you. I just wanted to add something that I forgot. Linda was referring to Minister Yahweh talking about the stocking up on the supplies. And on the Love Power show, that's Sundays that was the late Wallace Reed, and Brother Talute and Dr. Baruti, and we were interviewing him. And he was talking about the supplies, and not to be spooky or scary or anything, you need to keep water in your house. You never know. We could be like Flint. We could be like Jackson. This is very real. The Memphis Sand Aquifer, Memphis is the largest community in the United States that depends on its drinking water from an underground source. And that's very special and unique. We have great water. That's why we have so many independent breweries here, because they come here for the water. But in addition to the water, you want to have supplies in your home for an emergency. You see how crazy the weather is. You see what kind of temperatures we're having, and it's about to be May. This climate change is real. These storms are going to increase the temperatures. The winter average and the summer average, they're going to get lower and they're going to get higher. Please, please, if you want to do something in Minister Yahweh's memory, get you some supplies in your home.
All right, yeah. Hey, this is my partner in crime here. This guy been supporting me as well. I'm looking at all my 40s. Gosh. Broadway Joe. Where's Joe? Come here, Joe. Joe Townsend.
He coming right back.
All right, we got it. And we got some more to talk about. But in the meantime, Tyrone Easton, you get an award and you get an introduction to this Hall of Fame. All right? And I want y'all to give Tyrone Easton a round of applause right now. Give it up. This is Memphis legend also.
Hello. How y'all doing out there?
All right.
Good.
All right.
Mother King, she was very special. Excuse me. I'm sure she's very special to all of you. I met her early in my photography career. She always supported me and wanted me to cover things for her. And again, all the way up to her 80th birthday, I was on festival. And also in the name of school. Yeah, she had me covering that also. She's a beautiful woman. Beautiful. Someone to be very proud of. And Minister Yahweh, what can't you say about her? Wow. There's not saying something about he used to be able to mourn. He covered that ground. They had him kind of looking out for the students. He was special also. And he did a whole lot in our name for us. Our protest. He did a whole lot for us. And it was a great shock on both of those giants passed. Great shock. It's still hard to believe that they are gone. They never really will be gone because we'll keep them alive. We'll keep them alive.
Thank you, Brother Easton.
All right, let's give it up for all our people that have come forward thus far. If you want to step down, you want to stay. It doesn't matter. You can stay right there. Let me share, before we bring Brother Towns. Everybody, you like to share something? Yeah. Okay, we're gonna get ready to close up and go to the next phase. But let me let you know this. That you all know that Mother King had a street named after her in her honor over here by Poplar and Dunlap, Manassas, over that way somewhere. And so that was on June 20th one year. And so I remember writing a piece in my True Sense books about that day. And we know Mother King also had an affinity for the homeless. So we declared June 20th as Georgia King Day. June 20th is Georgia King's Day. And what was the name of her organization? Who remember Pop that she gave away the canned goods to the homeless in November?
It was November the 12th. I don't remember, but
Yes, November the 12th.
yeah, it was November the 12th. I don't exactly remember the name, but it was like it was in that manner. Yeah.
Something.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, but like they said, so many have said, let's be sure to keep their memories alive and continue to celebrate them. And as you already know, that the Moses Foundation celebrates Minister Yahweh's birthdays every third Sunday in August, which we have declared as be a booth day every third Sunday in August as a national holiday. Now, it might not be national to a whole lot of people, but it's a holiday in our books right here in Memphis, Tennessee. And so this year we'll be celebrating at T.O. Fuller Park. And please, people, a lot of our people grew up at T.O. Fuller Park. It was the only place they had to go. So we need to reintroduce that to our children today. Our people need to go back to T.O. Fuller Park, okay? That's out Mitchell Road, west. Go all the way down, and beautiful, beautiful. They've done so much in that park, and we need to go back and keep it alive and alive and alive. All right, so we're going to let Brother Akbar Khalifa share his thoughts concerning Minister Yahweh and Queen Nakua. Thank you.
Peace and love, peace and blessings. I openly bear witness that there is no God but He Allah, and I openly bear witness that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is a messenger of Allah. And I greet you, my beloved brothers and sisters, in the greetings of peace, from Adam to Muhammad in the Quran language of Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, which means, may the peace and blessings of Almighty God Allah be upon you and your beloved one. Okay, Mother King and Minister Yahweh was two special friends of mine. Very, very good people. Ms. Harris said something that made me go and correct her. She spoke about the good memories that she had in the last fond memory. I told her, no, that shouldn't have been there. The last fond memories that you had when we was over there at one of the events, and her and Karen called themselves was Melanella, because I was in the woman's bathroom. I take care of them. And they told they was in there jugging, and they was finna get her. Mama King told them, y'all get the hell out of there. She said, I ain't going nowhere till y'all go back and get my caregiver. And she would not go nowhere till they came back and got me. And yeah, that was good. I met Mama Georgia King many years ago. I did 35 years in prison. Mama King used to come up there with Omar Baruda and several more other people. But her and Minister became my two very close special friends. I took care of both of them from the time I got out till I got out here. And I'm gonna miss them very, very much. That's all I had to say.
Thank you. Also, before Dr. Towns come and Brother Cam and Mtenzi come back, let's give it up for Gary Whitlow with M-Blink. Brother Cedric Moore, you love your own story first, is in the house somewhere.
No, I just gave you that Cedric Gum.
Cedric Gum?
Yeah.
Okay, and what's your name? Yeah. Tony Franklin's in the house also. So let's give it up for these videographers and photographers. Because whether we really take notice or not, these are our historians today. They're keeping our history. And so we need to, and also Brother Henry Wiley, thank you so much for doing what you do. And anybody else that we may have overlooked, thank you all so much for being here and sharing on tonight. And like I said, let's do it again and again and again. So let's welcome Brother Towns.
Good evening to everyone. Look, let me thank Stanley and his team, House of Mtenzi, as always wanting to do something to acknowledge and embrace and uplift our community. He's been doing it for a very, very long time. And without this tonight, where would you all be? You would not be assembled here. I know that. And his eyes gotten sharper as he's gotten older in terms of recognizing the history that's in our community. When I say history in our community, I don't only mean here, because I caught him down in Alabama on the bridge where, you know, Bloody Sunday was, doing some things with Alabama elected officials and members of the community as well. But you all have the special occasion of having him here, living here for a long time. And always it's a slog, it's a financial slog to do the things that he does. I've been really ragging him about doing another play because some of us, Stanley and Stanford, and some of the other guys here, we've been in his plays on stage, and I love his plays. So y'all need to help me. Y'all need to help me stay on this case about getting another play done. You know, because he does some great plays. But it is wonderful to talk about people from a first-person tense, those that we know, and we know Mother King, and we know, you know, back then it was Sweet Red Wine when I first met him. We know these members of our community. And it's always a treasure to discuss some of the things they've done. Before I get too deep in what I'd like to say is this, is that if you want to really uplift them and their families in this community, you have to emulate what they did. They come along at a time that was different in this country. They come along at a time when you have to have courage to stand up and fight for things that made this country what it is today. A lot of young people who have no respect or no recollection or any inkling of wanting to know what history is all about, they don't have that kind of courage. Stuff you all see today is not the same stuff. People literally died for the things that they fought about. They were burned up, gins tied around their neck, thrown in the water, thrown in the pool. If you're going to tell it, tell the truth and tell it like it is. Tell it like it was. Be historically accurate about it so young people can get it and really get it. And it reminds and refreshes us that are more senior about the truth being told. It was a tough slog. As Brother Easy was saying, I met Brother Yahweh at LeBourne undergrad, sixth grade attendant undergrad. And he was a young man, he was older, obviously older than me. And I was impressed with his commitment to freedom and civil rights. And one of the things he'd done back then, way back then, over 40-some years ago, he spoke before the UN. Okay? And to me, that was very, very significant. You know, African-American man speaking before the UN, I didn't know any others that had spoken before the UN at all. And then he was a part of the invaders. Now, believe it or not, we were young inductees into the invaders when I was a kid, over on Hanover Street. Okay, so they reached down and dealt with us as young people to try to actually influence us so we could be a part of the community. He did that. He stayed as an environmentalist. Who in here remember Brother Green, N.T. Green? Y'all remember N.T. Green? Well, you remember N.T. Green? So N.T. Green was ahead of his time as it relates to environmental pollution, racial environmental pollution in our communities. Okay, he's dead now. Okay, he was way ahead of his time with that. So was Dr. Yahweh. He was talking about it then. He knew they were poisoning our communities then. Okay, with that poison in our community, you would have these cancer clusters all over the place, and you wonder why the cancer's coming from. They were dumping in our communities, the soil and the water. Okay? One year it was on 60 Minutes what they were doing up in Dixon, Tennessee. Well, these guys were on it then. They were telling us then, but the words they used were so sophisticated, we didn't understand it. No one was talking about that stuff at all. So people don't understand it, they think you're loopy. No, they were ahead of us. And they were teaching us. They were not loopy, they were smart, they were brilliant. N.T. Green, Brother Yahweh. Brother Yahweh himself is the reason, he and Rome Withers are a reason right now that we are dealing with these voting machines that they discovered was stealing votes. Myself, because of that, Mike Cornell, Carol Chumley, we filed a lawsuit that went to the Sixth Circuit Supreme Court. But that started with them discovering what they were doing, cheating, okay, with the machines. That goes all the way back to Crump, old boss Crump. Cheating and stealing away. Well, they were already on that. They were studying, he'd always have paperwork for you to read, to prove what he says. And what I admire, really, there's so many things, but his energy and his age did not, I mean, they were just, his age and energy, they were not parallel because his energy was so much beyond his age, while he was healthy. He was just at his DNA level, his RNA level, he was all about liberation in his community. He was a true freedom fighter. I guess born to be liberating, participating in liberation for people that were oppressed. And Mama King, boy, she was this lady, y'all know her. She was all over the place, with no car. I'd see Mama King in DC with no car. I'd see Mama King, she lived this way, she was all the way on the other side of town. With no car, okay? But everybody knew her, and she would call my office in Nashville all the time, wanting me to do whatever, that did not matter. And just as sweet as she wanted to be, and if you could think and meditate on her now, I want y'all to think about how beautiful her skin was.
Oh, man.
This lady was gorgeous, okay? She was absolutely, she radiated, man. Mama radiated. In other words, Mama was pretty. She just did. But her passion for liberation and fighting was just like Minister Yahweh. It's the same. It may be the cloth, the dirt that people were cut out of at that point in time that was everywhere. But these in Memphis are our true freedom fighters. They were in the movement. They were there with Dr. King. They were there during the riots. They were there during the struggle, the police and the dogs and the shooting and all this crazy lynching type stuff. These people were there. Not something we read about. These are people that we live, and they are our real heroes. These are not empty words that are being cast upon a crowd and return void because they're not true. Many of y'all knew these people, and they deserve to be recognized and remembered, but more so, it's for us to teach our young people how to do it. I'm not talking about with foolishness. I'm not about that foolishness, that ignorance. That doesn't advance our community. Your personal stuff and all these isms we get into, all this nonsense, they were not about that. And they had a kind spirit. Each one of them had a very kind, loving, sweet spirit. Well, they got mad. It had to be where they come from. But their kindness was magnetic. They'll give you anything they had. But they were devout in terms of fighting for freedom. They were not going to yield. And for that, anytime you want to celebrate them, man, I think, and I love the picture you sent out with them, those two on there. That's a gorgeous picture. Have y'all seen that? That picture? It's a flyer that he did with them on there. It's absolutely gorgeous. They need to see that. It's just very well done, very well done. So I just, hey, I'm a product of them because I started with them when I was a youngster, And I'm just so grateful as a kid that I had an opportunity to be around folks that love me enough to fight for me and teach me enough to pass it on. So that's what we're trying to do. And may their memory live on. God bless them and their families and all of us as well. Thank you.
Thank you. We're getting ready, all right. Let me give you another little praise report. Speaking of minister being an environmentalist, he and Chet Kilble has been working in environmentalist field for over 15 years. And so Brother Chet Kilble, for those that may know him, keep up with him because, and thank God he did get to let minister know before he transitioned that things were changing concerning the fluoride in the water. So let's be thankful for that and thankful that he got a chance to know. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Mother Queen Patricia Lee. Thank you, State Representative Joe Town. Thank you so much, Mr. Easy. Thank you again, Dr. Henry. Thank you, Pearl, Attorney Linda Harris, Emmett, Ms. Ann, and my brother Yaya. I salute to you, man. Stand up.
Yeah.
That's my older brother. That's the first seat of R9 right there. That's the first seat on the ninth seat. I salute to you, brother. All right, what we're gonna do now? I'm gonna call up real quick the honorees of the 2023 Rise of 300 honorees. So Tony Franklin. Shortly after this, we're gonna do the candlelight. We're gonna go outside. Please, everyone, you got to take off your shirt or jacket. You gotta expose the Rise of 300 for the boost. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have the 2023 prospect here, Tina Bird. All the way from Atlanta, Georgia. Sherelle Lance, come on up here to book out there. We have Risa Wallace. Where are you, Risa Wallace? Come on up here. Tomorrow, I'll let Tina explain that later. Risa Wallace, she's working as always. Where is Rain? Come on up here, Rain Johnson. And ladies and gentlemen, Nina knows Memphis. Come on up here. And to my right over here, DJ Kyrus. Take the stage. Now, we have 125 members of the Rise of 300 as of 2022. Now, this is the staff of, percentage of the staff of House of Mtenzi Museum. And my family had a conversation about who we wanted to, we had maybe 60 names. And we decided to go with 15. And they all decided, like, you know what? We need to honor the staff because they are true bona fide leaders of 10, 15, 20 years. And there was back this time last year when I had a conversation with a few of my siblings. I'm like, okay, let's do that. Let's do that. So I commend you guys for many years being a true leader of the city of Memphis. And then you talking about 10 toes down with me, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they said someone had 13 toes. This one right here had about 14 toes. 10 toes and 14 toes down right here.
Can't get right.
Can't get right. We call him can't get right. But no, seriously, I say this. We've been feeding the homeless for, Ma and I have been feeding the homeless for 30, almost 40 years. 25 years here. And Tina, Tony, Whitney, Nina, I can fit 13 or 14 years. And then you have Rain and Risa, and a few of them, I'm sorry, we did DJ Kyrus and everyone else. But what I'm saying, while everyone's at home, freezing, during the holidays, during the winter months, they be out here, prepping, setting up, 20 degrees, 15 degrees in the snow, giving back. Feeding and clothing. And on, not just, it's just even dealing with the tourists, with the kids coming through here. So you all are true bona fide leaders, man. So I say yes to my family. Yeah, you're right. They are leaders. Let's do that this year. So congratulations on tomorrow. Raise your hands. Who all gonna be at the ceremony tomorrow? Raise your hand. Pearl. I'm not gonna put you on the spot, but Carol Walker. Joe Kent. Well, Joe Kent, he's on the program. Right.
I'll be late.
You're gonna be late, but you're gonna be there. Oh, vote for City Council. All right. We get ready to set up for the candlelight, and you take over, Tina, and we go for it. All right.
Yeah, I always gotta do something. I'm like his shadow, for those that don't know. So whatever he lack, then I just pick up. But I just want to thank, I'm sure the whole staff here just wants to thank Cam and Not Mustard Seed for inducting us on tomorrow. It's an actual honor, and I want to say to the elders before me and the ones that have passed, thank you. Thank you so much, the leaders. Miss Ann Yates, Emmett, Superstar Brown, Queen Patricia Lee, thank you so much. you just can't get right for real. Everyone in this room that has walked these streets and that are still here and doing what they're doing. Rest in peace, Mother Georgia King.
She was number
Minister
44.
Yahweh.
Georgia King was Rise 300 number 44. What's
Yes, she
your number,
was.
girl? I don't even know my number.
Jesus.
What on that? What's yours?
Mine is 130.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm 43, I'm right.
I'm 131.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm 133.
And my best is right behind me.
65.
I'm number 28.
There you go.
28. Patricia Lee, what's your number?
Why you got the
15?
candle up like
Okay.
this? Like,
Hey, that's all we got. That's all we got.
again, I just want to thank the elders again for paving the way for us. And as we get inducted tomorrow, I promise, I'm going to promise to continue the torch. So I thank you so much. Now I guess we're going to start the Candlelight Vigil.
Yes, I need everyone.
Oh, he's not gonna let me take the picture.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, Jesus.
Come on, you guys come. Come on. Get up here. All right, tighten up. All eyes on me. 2, 3. It didn't hurt at all.
Okay, so what we're gonna do, either y'all can take down your garment outside or leave it here, or we're gonna do the Candlelight Vigil. I would love for Patricia and Joe